Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita original, chapter number 3, Karma Yoga, text number 12. Ishtan Bhogahi Vodevan Dasyante Yagya Bhavidaha Ther Dattan Apradadebhyo Yo Bhunkte Stena Evashaha. So here, Krishna is telling necessities of life. Bhoganhi Vodeva, the Devas, Dasyande supplies. Dasyande Yagya Bhavidaha, being pleased with your offerings. So your laddus or flowers or bananas, agarbatti or camphor, sandalwood or bay leaf or whatever you actually offer to these demigods. Of course, every demigod may have a favorite dishes or favorite flowers to choose. So you all may know Bhadrakali may like one flower, Lord Ganesh may like another flower, Mahadev may like different flower, Mother Durga may like some other flowers. So everyone has their choice of fruits and flowers and various other offerings that you make. So being pleased with your offerings, they supplies you all necessities. The main necessity in this world is rain. If there is no rain, then there are no food grains. No vegetations would grow. So the main thing is the rain. So they supply through that rain, except the steel, precious stones, iron, chemicals, wood. Wood also depend on the rain, because the trees have to grow. But there are millions of trees, they are not actually depend on the rain. If you go to the jungle, or if you go to see redwood trees in California or some other places, you can see they are not depend on rain. Even if there is no rain, they can still sustain. So there are wide varieties of stuffs the demigods actually supply. Fruits, vegetables, various kinds of fruits, various kinds of vegetables, various kinds of grains, beans, then again the raw stuffs, hard stuffs like iron, steel, manganese, chemicals, acids, and all these things they supply. These are the necessities for us to live comfortably. But after living comfortably, what we would do? Just to continue to live comfortably? No. So the number of celebrations comes every year. Beginning right after your Ashada Masa, Gauri Ganesh. Before that, in February, Shivaratri comes. Thereafter, many other festivals, Ganesh festivals, Durga festivals. All these festivals keep coming. So you prepare. At home you are ready to worship them. So none of those things are going in vain. The results of all these members performing these kinds of offerings, which is called yagya, the demigods are supplying you the regular rain, wind, fire, enough heat also required. If there is only cold, you cannot actually live comfortably. You will be shivering at home and you won't be able to walk or sit because of too much cold. Even if 2 days of sun's disappearance, right, behind the cloud, the cold begins. So it is the sun who heats up this planet. the moon shines, the stars also have their respective contribution to the human society. So everyone supplies. Why? Because you serve them and celebrate the regular festivals. Therefore, they are supplying you. Otherwise, 1 year if there is drought, right? There is no rain. Everything is dried up. What do? Our industry, like transforming all these metals into different communication devices, cars and rockets and airplanes, and it's not going to help us to sustain in this world. It is the food which is important. Therefore, up till Dwapara Yuga, there were only Vaishyas who supplies food, milk, ghee, butter, and all those things. Administrators just focus on the administration. Brahmanas give intelligence to the administrators. The laborers work for the Vaishyas. In this way, Varnashrama Dharma was actually very nicely organized. Even that time also, by birth, everything is actually decided, which is still going on now also. If I am born in a Brahmana, only you can recite the Vedas and mantras and all. Kshatriya cannot do it, Vaishyas cannot do it, Shudras cannot do it. If you are administrator, you cannot also imitate Brahmanas or take up the profession of Vaishyas or Shudras. You have to stick with your Kshatriya duties, dharmas. Vaishyas, they should do Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam, works in the agricultural field, take care of the cows, bring milk for everyone, and supplies, do some business, and Shudras just help them. All these things were actually going on. But the underline is everyone worshipped the demigods. So here Krishna is saying that Ishtan Bhogahi Vodevan Dasyante Yagya Bhavidaha. Being pleased with your offerings, the demigods are also supplies everything for you. So there are 5 yagyas. Brahma Yagya, Pitru Yagya, Deva Yagya, Buddha Yagya, and Nara Yagya. So every human being, especially the householders, are ordered by the scriptures to perform these yagyas. If one is the Brahma Yagya. Brahma Yagya means involve in the Vedic studies and understand the goal of life. Various departments of knowledge should be absorbed into our consciousness. So all the Vedic principles. Now in Kali Yuga we have Bhagavad Gita. We have Srimad Bhagavatam. It was not there before. Before, what was there was Vedas divided into 4 divisions. Atharva, Yajur, right? Samaveda. All these Vedas were actually given to different rishis to expand the knowledge to everybody. So this is called Brahma Yagya, studying the Vedic scriptures as it is. The second is Pitru Yagya. You perform Pitrus, vegetarian food, not non-vegetarian. When Sharda ceremony comes, you guys go with a piece of meat or some curries and all non-vegetarian things. It is forbidden. Pitrus will not be satisfied with your flesh. Not to do that. So offering vegetarian food, very nicely cooked in ghee and coconut oil, give to them. They will take it. This is called Pitru Yagya. Why Pitru Yagya? Because you are born in that family. They are the ancestors and you are the descendants of them. So it is imperative to perform their yajna as well, along with Brahma yajna. So Pitru yajna. The third is Deva yajna. Deva yajna, which we already explained, because demigods are offering all these things to you. So it is an essential part of life that you perform in an enthusiastic way to the demigods. So that is called Deva Yajna. And the fourth one is Buddha Yajna. Buddha Yajna means not ghosts and spirits. Any living beings. It can be any wild animals or domestic animals. Cows are giving you ample milk, butter, ghee. Everything is coming from them. Right? No other milk is actually entertained for yajna. The superior living beings, they will not allow you things made out of anything but cow milk. So cow milk, cow yogurt, then ghee, before that butter, whatever you produce from the cow milk products, the demigods will be very pleased. Of course, Krishna is most happy. Vishnu is most happy when you give all these milk products, sweet meats produced from cow milk. So, therefore, Buddha Yajna is actually mentioned. Not only just a cow, all the living entities should be offered. Before you go to eat your breakfast or lunch, especially lunch, the householders are asked to go out and call, is there anybody who is hungry? That is for the Narayagya. But here they give to the cow first. One portion to the cow. If there is dog, you give to them. Also, you give any living beings. You serve them. You love them. They are all Krishna's part and parcels. They are all in cats and dogs' body due to their desire or karma. But we have no right to punish them and not give them anything. It's not. We should actually supply, become compassionate. That is the human form of life. Don't be just go behind anthropology, the science of human beings. You can also study other living species science as well, how they came to exist. Like a dog, he cannot be without master. He always go behind you. Even if you give a little bit of food, he becomes so grateful to you, he always come to your house. So he cannot be without master. But we always drive them out. Hut, hut, bolgi. So this is what we were actually trained to. Just enjoy our own senses and go to sleep and have a little bit sex if there is facility and defend. This is what we are doing. So, Buddha Yajna. After Buddha Yajna, there is Nara Yajna. So, when uninvited guest comes, you supply them prasada. The food that is offered to Krishna, that is called prasada. Uninvited guests. Don't be so panicked that they are going to eat all of our food cooked. No, give them, share with them. These all the things will come back to you when you are in scarcity. These all charities and yajnas that you perform will never makes you go hunger. Always something will come to your house even if you don't have anything. Activities we perform by which we get reciprocation from all these living beings. Cats and dogs also help you. Cats do not help you. They come and actually goes around and perform so much activities for you to catching the mice. And they show their service attitude towards you. Dogs are also, what do they need is just little milk, just little food. Instead of throwing it away, give to them. This is called Panchasuna Yajna. So by performing, the human beings are considered to be human beings. Otherwise, what Krishna says here in this verse, Dairdatan apradadebhyo, being pleased with your services, they supply everything very nicely without creating any types of obstacles on the path of the supplies that they make to you all. Otherwise, what is it called? That person who does not give to the Devis and Devadas, yo bhunkte stena evashaha. A person who enjoys all these things given by the material nature, the demigods through the nature of the Supreme Lord, is called stena. Stena means a robber, a thief. So when they supplies everything, and if you don't actually give to them, naturally we are considered to be a thief. A thief cannot be peaceful at any time. Why? Because they always think police is coming. Even if a police vehicle goes, they become so disturbed and afraid that the police is going to actually catch me. So a thief cannot be peaceful at any time. So when we do not actually perform all these things, how can we expect happiness? How can we expect peace? Without peace, there is no happiness. So first you try to get peace from these types of auspicious actions. Because pious activities means serving the demigods or God. Impious activities means worshipping the pretas, ghost, goblin, all these unwanted members of the universe, you worship them. Giving animal sacrifices, Gora Rupan. These kinds of activities just intimidate the human existence. Therefore, you have to be very conscious where you perform yajna. This is the scriptures, Brahma Yajna. Scriptures actually say that. It's not my personal opinion. And all these demigods are actually the devotees of Lord Vishnu, Devadas, and demons. Demons are generally worship Lord Shiva. The demigods worship Lord Vishnu or Krishna. So when you perform the worship to them, they respond to you. So you become the servant of the servant, right? The demigods are the servant of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu or Krishna, and you become the servant of the demigods. But if you have access to the Supreme Lord directly, then there is no need for the yajna to perform. Why? Because it's the most complicated programs. In Kali Yuga, we have no brain substance. Enough. Mandasu mandamadayo, mandabhagyam ubhadridaha. We are most unfortunate, only having misfortune. We have no intelligence. Our brain substance does not work. We can't hear or we can't follow the principles given by the Supreme Lord, which is forget about all these dharmas, sarva dharmam pariteja, give up all these duties, the yajnas of this person, that person, demigod, semi-demigod, demons, ghost, goblin, forget everything and just follow my instructions. Surrender unto me, because I am the Lord of the universe. Aham hi sarva yajnanam. I am actually the all yajnas. Bhoktra che prabhur eva che. I am the enjoyer of all yajnas, even if we are performing to the demigods. But the original enjoyer is me, Krishna says. Bhoktaram yajnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. I am the bhokta of all yajnas and austerities and everything that you perform, penances. All things that you perform, I am the direct enjoyer, my dear friends. Suhridam sarva bhudanam. I am also the best friend of all of you. Suhridam. Such a person obtain peace and happiness. If you don't give to me, and if you don't give to my devotees, demigods, then you are a thief. That is what Krishna is saying. So, Krishna is ultimately the enjoyer of all yajnas. Why? The demigods, after receiving it, they are not putting in their pocket. They are giving to Krishna. They are giving to Vishnu. Exactly like the IT guys actually come. ED comes, right? They attack some houses without even giving any kinds of prior notice. And they take all the money from you. Illegally made or taxes not paid for those money. Because anything you don't pay tax to the government is called illegal, unauthorized transaction or unauthorized money. So these guys, they come and take it. After taking all this money, do you think they put it in their pocket? They give to the government treasury. They are all agents of the government. Similarly, all these demigods are agents of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigods are there doing their duties. They are supplying everything on the order of the Supreme Lord. You pay all these taxes in the form of yajnas and they resubmit to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Krishna says, Aham hi sarva yajnana bhoktrucha prabhurevacha. So, I am actually the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Bhoktrucha prabhurevacha. So, I am the Supreme Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, enjoyer of all sacrifices. In this way, the demigods actually give everything to the Supreme Lord. Exactly like the government agents, collect all these taxes and attacking different rich people's home and take all their money, illegally earned money, and submit to the treasury. So ultimately the government is the enjoyer. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer of everything. Why? Because the Supreme Lord is the person who supplies everything to everybody. Exactly like the government, after collecting the taxes, he supplies to everyone. All departments, government departments, including the individuals also, like police department, IB department, CBI department, educational department, irrigation department, agricultural department, external affairs, internal affairs, hundreds of departments are there. The government, every month, they transfer. And none of these guys have their self-fundraising program. Police department, they have a fundraising department? No, it is the government who supplies. Similarly, every department is supplied by the government. Therefore, government thinks those who do not pay the taxes, they are considered to be rob, thief. And they are punished 70 years, 10 years. Like that, if you do not perform the yajna to the demigods, forget about giving to God. You don't even know who is God. So how we actually give to God? In our Sanatana Dharma, most of the time we fall into this controversy of having so many deities. This is all because of our Manda Sumanda Madayo. God is one and He is the Supreme Lord, Lord Sri Krishna. Krishir Bhur Vachaka Shabdo Nascha Nirvritur Vachakaha Tayoraikyam Parabrahman Krishna Idi Avidiyade. Krishir Bhur Na Vachaka Shabdo. These two words put together is called Parabrahman, is Krishna. Krishna Idi Abhidiyade. So that He is the Parabrahman. So worshipping Him, you worship all the demigods. Exactly like taking care of the Prime Minister or the President of the nation you are serving all his subordinate bureaucrats. Automatic, because you have high influence. Like that, when we have high influence with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then there is no need for worshipping anybody else. Otherwise, we are considered to be a number one thief. We don't worship the demigods, we don't worship God, want to enjoy everything supplied by them. It's not practical at all. Thank you very much. We will continue. Hare Krishna.